Hey y'all, what's up? Hey y'all, what's up? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? All right, let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afrozian. Hey Robin, how you doing, boo? Long time. Um, I'm reading today. I'm reading for the Beautiful Handsome Collective. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is in the description box below. Okay? Hey y'all, what's up, y'all? Hey, hey, hey. Channel messages, they're trapped in their own trap. A trap made for a rat or a mouse. Most of your life, this is not going to resonate for everybody. Take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? For the ones that do resonate, you were, we'll say, encapsulated, or you were cornered by a group of mice or rats. I look up the etymology of the word rat, and it is one who abandons his associates for personal advantage. Rats usually leave a ship about to sink or a house about to fall, and this led to the meaning traitor or informant. So you lived in a home or a family dynamic here that was nothing but a pack of rats in regards to informants or traitors. They were informants or traitors to your success. So they did a lot of things to put people against you, to get people to more so become a traitor, because this is their MO here. Rats lead together, or rats stick in a pack-like setting. And this mother, father, this father figure, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, whoever, child, ex-lover, ex-spouse, whoever, okay? They thought that if they stuck together here, that they would be able to put you in some form of a trap. I did not look up the etymology of the word trap, but I'm going to do that now, so give me a moment. All right, so the etymology of the word trap is for catching unawares, or it could also mean a stair, step, or tread. That's on or into which one steps. So they wanted to trap you into their illusions here. And they thought they had you hook, line, and sinker. To the point now that everybody is seeing. You ever notice when a mouse gets caught in their trap, you see the head cut off or the tail cut off in that kind of way? These individuals were using both their head and their tail to lead this pack into a destruction of, abyss of destruction here. And a lot more people are now seeing that you were really surrounded by rats here, and a lot of people are seeing basically like these rats are being caught up in their own game, or being caught up in their trap of lies, the games that they wanted to play. As I mentioned before, when a mouse, for some odd reason, a mouse really thinks that they're intelligent or smart. And again, this is my own personal experience from dealing with mice. And don't say you never had a mouse in your house. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I did growing up. I lived in South Philly. And if you are aware as to how the homes are made in South Philly, everything is connected with one another. So just because your home might be the cleanest doesn't mean that you still might not, get a mouse or mice from other connecting homes next to you. So that's how the mouse or the mice were coming into the home at the time where I was living in. Okay, but anywho, I noticed that a mouse is not that smart, because a mouse would always try to use some form of a foundation or a barrier or some kind of wall to ensure they have some kind of leverage or safety. So that way, if something pops off or something arises, they're able to quickly get to safety by staying close to this wall or this safety net, so that way they don't get caught. And that's what these family members did here. They're blinded, or they were more so blinded by you, because they did not know who you truly were. You were the cat, okay? And we all know that cats, well, not if you all know, but some of you guys know that cats are really intelligent when it comes to jumping or trying to catch its prey. So they treated you as such. They treated you as a mouse and they thought that you were just like them. But as a cat is very swift on its legs or very quiet when it comes to trying to trap this mouse to eat, right? And these pack of rats, this toxic family dynamic that you, hey Cornelius, hey y'all, these pack of rats that surrounded you here got a rude awakening that they can't really fuck with you anymore. They can't fuck with you. That's what I keep hearing. You can't fuck with me anymore. So you may have said that recently. You may have said that last night. Hell, you may have said that this morning. But I feel like the energy today is very, very, very direct. It's very harsh. It's very to the point. It's cutthroat today. I didn't look at the transits today, but that's what I'm feeling amongst the, the collective here. You're in a space where you just truly don't give a fuck anymore. If that makes sense. Okay. Who is this trash? Let me see. Give me a second real quick. Oh, I can't see your profile. I'm just going to delete you. I don't have time for trash. Anywho, let's see. So my spirit wanted me to pull. It's been a long time since I've actually pulled from words. So my spirit wants me to use my words today, literally my words. So I'm going to do that. So let's see what pops up here, okay? All right, let's see what we got. We have a little symbol here. I don't know if you can see. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what kind of symbol this is. It looks like a person that's standing on top of like maybe plants or flowers or petals. That's how it looked to me. So I'm going to take this as you are the last person standing here when it comes to this. All right, these are the words that came out, okay? So someone realized, or this group of people realized that they're becoming famous off of their wrongdoings. They realized that, and that's not what they want to be famous for. They thought that they would have been famous for more so quietly putting you in harm's way, getting rid of you, and then stepping into your energy or stepping into your essence to take over what you had left behind in that kind of way. But of course, that's not happening here. So there's someone that could be, what the hell is that? There's something with antifreeze. This may have been placed in someone's food. Were you forced to drink a lot of things when you were young? Because I'm being shown a cup. It could be like a favorite cup, or there was a specific cup that you were only allowed to drink out of. You may have been taking shots when you were young. You may have been taking alcoholic shots when you were young. Because I'm also seeing, so I see a small alcoholic shot, and then I see like someone taking a flame and flickering it, and then it has the flame on top of the shot, and then they're drinking it. That's what I see. I'm not a drinker as much, so I don't really know what all those type of drinks are. So y'all help me out, okay? But that's what I see. But I see an underage person doing this or drinking this, or they're being forced to drink something. But antifreeze keeps popping up really, really strongly. Also, the names Russell pops up, Keaton, Jason, Jayson, or it could just be Jason. It could also be Kason, same way, Kayson or Kason. Kamari, Beth, Bethany. Someone has a very, very, very huge case of arachnophobia. You may not like spiders, okay? And then someone loves Atari. Maybe you still have your Atari gaming system from way back. Maybe you just purchased a new Atari, but there's something very specific around Atari here. Okay. Um, Now they don't. So I feel, and I'm going to the childhood in this read because I feel like there's still some parts or aspects of your childhood that you're not remembering or you can't remember, or maybe because the trauma was so extreme your body protected you from that shock of what you actually experienced. So if you're not able to handle what I'm getting ready to say, because this is going to be a trigger warning when it comes to this read, I highly advise you guys to leave now, okay? Highly advise you guys to leave now, okay? Because I'm not holding back from what I'm about to say in regards to what they've done. So surrounding your medical records, if you were a child, please keep in mind this is a collective read. It's not going to resonate for everybody, okay? But if you were a child, you always frequent the hospital all the time. It could be a hospital, it could be a clinic, it could be a facility, something to that nature. There was a lot of head trauma and also stomach trauma when you were living amongst this family dynamic here. There were a lot of occurrences where you may have been, there were, can I say that? I don't know if I could, DRUG. I don't know if I could say that on TikTok, but they were doing that towards you to put you in a very stagnant state or still state here so they can just more so have their way with you. There was either a mother figure or a father figure here that didn't like you. So let's just say you had a stepmother and you were living with your father. The stepmother didn't like you. If you were living with a mother and the stepfather was there, the stepfather didn't like you. But there was one parent that didn't like you more than the other. And they one parent allowed the other parent to do some really, 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 really dark things towards you. I mean, things that you might hear and see in movies, horrific things that you may have seen in movies or heard on TV and things of that nature. Like your life could be like a replica or is very similar in regards to what took place when you were growing up with these hooligans or these trash bags in that kind of way. Please don't talk about my body. Okay, if you want to go suck something, go suck your mother. Okay, and that's for Josh Bristol. Don't worry about my titties, boo. You wish you could touch my titties, and you just can't. But I know what titties you can touch. Your mother's. Go suck out your mother cunt. How about that? Leave me alone. Today is not the day. Okay, not today. Okay, as long as you know that. Go suck out your mother front. Okay, don't worry about me, boo. All right, let's keep it going. Anywho, yeah, clock it. Clock it. Anywho, let me keep this train moving forward. Yes. So with this being said here, so I'm going to put it from both scenarios. So let's say you had a mother figure that was men crazy or man crazy, and they will always do everything possible to ensure that they were able to keep this man, or more so this stepfather here. The stepfather would brutally or really, really, really push a lot of physical abuse onto you because you were an individual that were very strong-minded to, for yourself here, where you didn't allow anybody or anyone say anything reckless or crazy towards you, even when you were a young child here. It got a little bit worse as you became a teenager here because this father figure or stepfather figure here really thought that you were smelling yourself. And they did a lot of things to ensure that you weren't being intimate or becoming intimate. You weren't outside. You weren't doing things because for whoever resonates with this, the stepfather may have been touching you inappropriately. On the flip side of it, the mother figure, so if you had a stepmother or a real mother, say how we'll just say mother figure, father figure, toxic mother or toxic father figure here. You may have had a toxic mother figure that may have been inappropriately doing things towards you here, and this father figure were aware. So you came from a space or state where both sides, or however it resonates for you, They will always stick together when it comes to the malicious things that they have done to you behind closed doors within this home setting here. Now they didn't want you to remember, so what they did here was they started to feed you certain things to ensure that you would not remember, basically kind of trying to erase your memory. Going back to your medical records, there may be things on your medical records that you're not even privy to. So I'm not a doctor by any means. I don't have any type of medical background or anything like that. This is just me intuitively picking up what I'm channeling. Okay, I want to make that very clear. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not a doctor at any, any sorts. I'm just channeling what I'm receiving here. Okay. I feel so your mother or father, toxic mother or toxic father, may have suffered from something called Munchausen. And Munchausen is something where they're always giving the benefit of the doubt that something is off or wrong with you here. Nothing was wrong with you, nothing was off with you. It was actually your gifts. Your gifts were unreal to them when you were younger. They could not understand why your gifts were so strong, or more so profound when you were younger. There were things that you knew before things played out, and it put them in a tizzy or put them in a very uneasy or unnerving situation or settlement of self, because you were always on point, or you were able to strike when the iron is hot when it came to your accuracy in regards to what you were seeing. Okay. So they didn't want you to spill the beans or spill the family secrets or history in regards to what they were doing to you. So this is why I feel there's some form of antifreeze. I do strongly feel that. Or it could be actually mouse things, poison, that were giving in your food or sprinkled or crushed in your food. You may have been a person when you were young. You may have been an individual that may have always smelled your food or sniffed your food before you took a bite. You may not understood why you were doing that at that point in time, but the reason why you were doing that is because your higher self was guiding you to do that, because you knew you maybe couldn't have proved it when you were younger, of course, but you were able to, now you're able to confirm what's going on, and you're able to see that this indeed was happening here. You may have been a child that may have been a little bit on the heavier side. And as you grew in age, you may have lost a lot of weight. Some of you guys may have had teeth that were destroyed based on the malnutrition, or you were malnourished as you were growing up. Your hair may not have been in the best state as you would like for it to be, because the type of things that they were feeding you when you were young, it was affecting your teeth, your nails, maybe you had darker nails, maybe you have like black streaks within your nails or your toenails, maybe your skin looked a little bit different. All in all, you were not taken care of to the best of their ability, because they did that on purpose here. Okay. Now, going back to the medical records here, as I was stating, there are some cases where you may start to remember bits and pieces in regards to what has taken place when you were young, and you may have actually challenged, or you may have actually asked them, hey, what happened to me when I was younger, and da da da, and whatever. They may have said something like, yeah, you may have had a lot of head concussions, or you may have fell a lot, or your equilibrium may not have been balanced. You may have been hit or smacked in your head, and if over time, when someone is continuously hit in their head, it can actually throw off your equilibrium, because that's where your air is, And if you're not able to be balanced out, sometimes when you're walking, you could be walking kind of funny, you could be tripping over yourself, you could be falling over yourself, and things of that nature here, is because they felt like if they hit your head or they aimed for your head here, you wouldn't be able to remember what was going on. Furthermore, some of you guys, thank you for bringing that up. Monique mentioned seizures. Some of you guys may have really experienced a lot of seizures and you weren't understanding why. Like, you could just be sitting out regularly and then all of a sudden you just start to seize up, And specifically for someone that resonates with this story here, I feel like you may have had an episode where you actually seized up while you were taking a bath or taking a shower. They were fully aware of that because they were doing things to put you in that position to where you could actually experience these seizures here, and they left you there. They left you there. They did. That's a family secret that you're not aware about. Extended families are aware of the the extreme abuse that you went through when you were young, but they stood quiet. And the reason why they stood quiet is because they were getting paid to stay quiet from the actual nuclear family in regards to what they were doing to you here. So for some of you guys, if you are afraid of water or you're afraid to get like, submerged in water and things of that nature, it's because you were having seizures. And when you awakened to in regards to the seizure, after you had the seizure, you couldn't remember what was going on here. And they waited until everything subsided. And then maybe about a week later or a couple days later, they would then go ahead and take you to the doctors. Oh, they fell. And, I didn't realize what was going on with them. And, I want to make sure everything was okay. Because they realized that if they kind of waited out in regards to what they have done to you in an abusive way here, that no one would be able to figure it out or put two and two together to realize that you were extremely abused when you were young here. Okay, so going back to this human trap here, human mouse trap, they wanted to trap you as such. And there's some really, really devilish individuals here that will create a maze or a game just for you. And then they will place you in this game, and then they have an aerial point of view of this maze here, because they're thinking that you're the mouse and you were never the mouse. You're more so the cat. But they thought that they can continue this mouse-like thinking, right? Pack thinking, where they can place you in this maze and they have this aerial point of view as to what they're doing here. And they're more so trying to see if you're going to like bump into walls or hit into obstacles and things of that nature. And they laughed about it. Your own mother or father, again, this ain't gonna resonate for everybody. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But you lived a very, 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 very abusive, you live within a very abusive household surrounding these family members here. So now the reason why they feel trapped here is because people are really seeing them for the filth that they are, and they can't handle it. If you are on social media here, they're doing everything possible to ensure that you don't speak out. So they're trying to break down or take down your pages or your channels here, whatever channel or outlet that you're on. They're trying to get people, they're still trying to see if they can get in contact or wedge themselves in between maybe new acquaintances or new friends or whatever, however, that you may have actually collaborated with or connected with once you have disconnected from them. They're looking through your background with a fine teeth comb. They're looking up your addresses and things of that nature. They're doing everything possible to more so shut you up. And the more that they keep trying to shut you up, the deeper they're going to be caught within this mouse trap here. So allow them to do whatever it is that they need to do. You could be a Scorpio or they could be a Scorpio. Take it how it resonates, okay? Take it how it resonates. Toxic family, okay? So you could be a Scorpio that was a part of this toxic family, or you have a Scorpio that is a part of this toxic family that's doing things towards you. Again, take it how it resonates, okay? They're praying and they're plotting. They're praying to take you down. They're plotting to take you down, but they're praying that they don't get caught. And they're getting caught because all of their, when a mouse leaves droppings, after it finished doing what it do, you're going to see the evidence there. And every time they defecate or every time they attempt to plot against you here, they get caught up in a space where now they're surrounded by their own defecation of themselves. A stepfather or a stepmother, a mother figure, a father figure may have given you an STD. Okay, I'm sorry, but this read is going to be very harsh today. So again, if you're not able to handle this type of reading, I respectfully ask for you to click off. Okay. All right, let's keep moving forward. So one parent was aware that the other parent was interfering with you in an inappropriately, or more so in an inappropriate manner, and they stood quiet because they did not want to leave this person, because this person could have been the breadwinner. So it could be, again, if it was a father figure, toxic father figure, they were considered to be the breadwinner of the household. Or if it was a mother figure, maybe she was the breadwinner. Take it how it resonates here, okay? But they stood quiet because they didn't want to give up the finances in regards to what the other parent was giving towards the household here. So they didn't mind sacrificing you, or they didn't mind putting you up to be the bait for that toxic parent here, because they really, really wanted to hold on to the finances here. For whoever resonates here, you may have actually had cancer when you were young. It could have been some form of like a juvenile cancer, or like an adolescent cancer of some sort, or they may have been telling people that you had some form of cancer, some form of a brain cancer, or some form of a brain injury that surrounds some form of cancer. I don't feel that was true, which goes back to the medical records here that keeps popping up for me. I feel like your medical records were altered and shifted or changed because they didn't want you to see like the severity as to how abused you were. There were a doctor that they were fully aware of, or they were more so, they have created a connection with this doctor for many years. So if you were an individual that went to the doctors or seen this physician continuously throughout your years as you were growing up here, this doctor were fully aware that you were being abused, but they stayed quiet because they were also getting paid underneath the table. Okay, so take that how that resonates. We have karma here. Okay. Yeah, so on YouTube, my Maz. First of all, let me say thank you. Hey Maz, I love y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay on top of these trash bags, because they coming out, you know. The trash is coming out. You can smell it. Smell very foul and stink, because they don't want me to speak up in regards to this, and I get it. But yes, thank you to my mods on YouTube. We're going to talk about it because it's going to come up. If you don't want me to discuss things of this nature, stop doing things in this nature. Okay? Stop doing things in this nature. Timothy, don't time them out. Just block them all together. They don't get a second chance. Block them all together, okay? So now they're breaking down here because people are seeing just how wicked and file. That file, medical records. There is something about your medical records that you don't have access to or privy to. I highly suggest, if this physician's office or doctor's office is still open or still available, I highly suggest that you reach out for them to give you access to your medical records. So we have broke here, and this toxic family dynamic here went broke by trying to keep your medical records or your medical history secret here. So as you got older and we'll say legalities, law enforcement, and judicial systems came into play here, they use your medical records against you. But again, your life, or whoever resonates, your life was orchestrated since you were born. Some of you guys could be foster kids or a foster child, and you've experienced a lot of extreme abuse. They hid parts of your medical history because they knew as you got older, or so you got older, that if they needed to have that on their arsenal or in their back pocket here, that they could use that against you. But yet they are the one that created all of this towards you here. The hate, the deep, deep, deep hate and despise that this toxic mother, toxic father has for you is unforgivable. There's no coming back from this. Says jail. This is why they're freaking out, because you know they're a liar. They can't even tell you verbatim what happened to you when you were growing up, specifically surrounding your medical records, because once again, they don't want you to be aware. So they did a lot of candle magic here to keep you stuck in your mind, to make you come off as if you were very simple in nature, to make you come off as if you weren't aware as to what's going on, to make you come off as if you can't answer certain questions and things of that nature here. They did this strategically because they're trying to save themselves. That's what a pack of rats do when they come together. They all come together for one thing, to get to safety or to get whatever they need to get. And then once they finish doing their rat packing, they all go its separate ways. Mouse or mice or rats only come out at night. They don't come out in the morning. They don't come out in the daytime. If they come out in the daytime, that must mean something's really off with that mouse. They must be really hungry, or they have not been able to get a little morsel of food. But mouse or a mice only comes out at night. And when they come out at night, they're always up against some form of foundation to ensure that if something happens, if the light turns on, you go into your kitchen and you see a little mouse, they're going to run, they're going to scurry across the wall to get to safety. Siblings were also aware. So you may have had a brother or you may have had a sister that were also fully aware as to how extreme or the extreme abuse that you went through here. They also stood quiet. And the reason why they stood quiet here too is because they were also benefiting from that toxic mother or toxic father figure here. Take it how it resonates. And say childhood trauma. Okay? They traumatized you as a child. They did. But they specifically put you in trauma within your childhood. They did. They saw you and they hated you. They saw you and they despised you. That's what they did. They couldn't stand you at all. So sudden changes happened here. So when you spoke up, when you said something, you always got slapped across your face, or you got punched in your face, or you got knocked, your head got, they did a lot of things to ensure that you would stay quiet. They didn't want you to speak up about the abuse that they were doing towards you. They wanted you to normalize abuse, or more so toxic, extreme abuse. That's what they wanted. Bad luck. They wanted you to feel that abuse was okay, but you didn't feel that abuse was okay. You may not have understand like verbatim, like all of the ramifications surrounding it, but you knew that something was off. And every time you spoke up, you got knocked down. And they wanted you to feel like that every time you spoke up, you would receive bad luck. That's what they wanted. You don't speak about what we do to you. You don't speak about what goes on in this house. You stay quiet what goes on in this house. You don't talk about the beatings that I get, like stuff like that. Stuff like that. They thought beating you or putting you in an abused state would have made you afraid of them. That's what they thought. They thought that the extreme years of abuse that they have placed you in or through, they thought that you would have never, ever, ever, ever risen up. They thought that you would have been scared for the rest of your days and you would have been a recluse, isolated from mankind or from humanity, and you would have never, ever, ever utter a word in regards to what they have done towards you. Joke's on them. Could be an Aries. You could be or they could be. Take it how it resonates, okay? For you, new job is here, but it's in reverse. Did you make a complaint towards a mother figure's job or a father figure's job? They looked into abuse. So if you were younger, could be a child, when you were a child or a teenager, take it how it resonates, and it was getting so extreme that you may have actually reached out to your toxic mother's boss or your toxic father's boss, and you may have made a complaint in regards to all of the traumas that they were pushing on you here. We have stuck and we have dangerous. Okay? We have stuck and we have dangerous here. So it became dangerous for you, or they wanted for you to make it seem like speaking up would have been a dangerous thing to do. Again, like I always say, I would never ever understand how someone can be so freaking brutally oppressive quietly behind closed doors, and then when you finally have the urge to say something, they get so afraid and want to cause like an actual ending for you. That there would just never ever ever sit right in my spirit or in my soul. It just never will. You can't be a fucking coward behind closed doors and then people seeing you for the filth that you are, and the first thing you want to do is you want to shut the person up that you cause harm to. That would never, ever, ever sit right with me. It just never will. It just wouldn't. They were very cold-hearted towards you. They were. Yep. They were very, very, very cold-hearted against you. Could be a Leo. You could be or they could be. Take it how it resonates. If you lived with a sibling or siblings here, they could do what they want. They could freely go about. They can talk about whatever they want. They know not to say anything because they just know not to say anything. Even if they were to speak up, I don't think they would get in trouble. But they knew to kind of fall in line in regards to this mother figure or father figure here to just stay quiet. So they allowed the siblings to do harmful things towards you. Some of you guys may have been touched inappropriately by a sibling, whether they're younger or older. Take it however it resonates. And these are things that people don't want to discuss or speak about, that there is incest within a family dynamic or family dynamics here when you have siblings and other family members of that toxic family are touching on you inappropriately. Then we have secret lover here. So you were fully aware of the nastiness and the foulness that they were doing in regards to a secret lover. So secret lover would be, let's say your mother was living with a man. She had a lover on the side, or you're living with your father. Your father had a woman on the side, or in some cases, the lover could be actually of the same sex. That's also something that they don't want people to be aware about. But anywho, with this secret lover here, you knew that this parent, this toxic parent, had a secret lover, and you may have actually said something to the other parent to let them know, and you got yourself in trouble for speaking up in regards to what took place here. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You really, it's like you really did not had a, you didn't, they thought that you didn't have a fighting chance against them. Who gonna listen to you? Who gonna believe you? I'm your mom, I'm your dad. No one's not gonna believe you. They ain't this and they that. And then they made sure that the individuals or the community of individuals that they surrounded here, they wanted to make sure that they had an ironclad appearance in regards to how they wanted people to see them. They're great. They give back to the community. They do this. They'll do whatever they need to do for outside the community. But when it comes to you within doors or behind closed doors, you have to pay for everything that they experience outdoors. Anger issues are here. Okay? I'm seeing a pillow. Maybe you were smothered with a pillow. Like, man, I see a child crying and I see an adult or a parent, shut up, I'll give you something to cry for. And they're literally putting a pillow over your face to smother you, to stop crying or stop screaming out. I mean, what the There will always blood found in your nether areas. Could be in your underwear. There were welts and bruises all over your body that were covered up by clothes and long garments and things of that nature. You may even have welts in your head. And this is a so-called parent. A so-called parent that's doing this foolishness. Yep, the tower moment is here. You are the tower moment. You may come from a family that has schizophrenic. They may be schizophrenic. You don't have it. They thought that you did based on your gifts because you were able to see or see past what they were doing. You've always been spiritually awakened when you were young. When you got older, it may have been closed because of them trying to traumatize you within your mind. That's the justice. So you're getting another opportunity or chance today to re-emerge spiritually so you can reawaken or awaken in a, the justice is you being spiritually awakened fully, 100%. You're an adult now. So they think because you are an adult that you still need to be in a child's place. No, an adult consists of 21 and up. 18, I'm sorry, I just don't consider them to be an adult. That's just me. 18 is still a child, teenager. So I don't consider an adult at 18. That's my own personal perspective and point of view. Okay? You still need your parent at 18. Despite them thinking you're an adult, I don't think that. That's just me. 21, okay, now I can see, but not 18. But anywho, with justice and spiritual awakening here, there were a lot of daddy issues that you may have experienced or encountered with this toxic family, toxic father here. However it resonates, the toxic mother or the toxic father here, that parent knew that the other parent had a thing for you. So you may have been developed when you were younger, okay? Your body may have been developed, whether you're a woman or a man, take it how it resonates. Where you were developed in certain places where that toxic parent always watched you or looked at you. That's what I wanted to say with the schizophrenia here. These individuals may have some form of a mental instability that they were trying to hide and they were trying to push it onto you. You may have saw or noticed that this toxic mother or toxic father here may have been taking a lot of tablets or medication while you were growing up. A lot of it had to do with the mental state, okay? So when they would hit you specifically within your head here and they took you to the doctor, this is where the misdiagnosis came in. Oh, something's not right with them and they always this and they always that. And every time I try to this, they fall down. And you could have been very weak as a child. You only had to eat or could only eat certain type of food to be nourished. And the type of food that they wanted you to eat, it wasn't beneficial to your growth. So you really went through a lot of extreme abuse when you were young or younger. You were dealing with a very, very, very narcissistic family dynamic here. That is stuck in fear and shock because you're unbothered by what they're trying to do towards you here, and you're speaking out in regards to what they have done. We have low self-esteem, stuck energy and low self-esteem. Karmic who stalks me runs around TikTok schizophrenic with 40 fake pages. Ain't that something, Tim? That's what Tim states on TikTok. Runs around TikTok schizophrenic with 40 fake pages. Why does one person need 40 fake pages? Why do you need any fake pages to begin with? They know what they did. Come out with and say it with your chest. Show your face. Karmic mommy or karmic daddy. You should be able to stand on what you did, heifer. Why are you hiding behind fake pages? You don't think those fake pages can't be traced? What the hell you think IP addresses are for? What you think cell phone towers are for? You don't think these things can't be traced? Why are you so engrossed or enthralled with the collective karmic mommy or karmic daddy? Why do you have so much frivolous fake pages, karmic mommy and karmic daddy? You did what you did. We get it. You did what you did. Say it with your chest. Use your real profile. Use your real picture with your real name. And then, maybe then, we can have a conversation, knowing that we ain't gonna have no conversation. There's a finch right out my window. It's a yellow and black bird. Has yellow on its back, yellow on its belly, underbelly, and the tail or the wings are black. So it looks like a finch to me. Very beautiful. I've never seen a bird like that before. They want to suffer in silence. So they want to shut you down, shut down your channel, report your stuff by hiding behind the scene. There's no reason to hide. If this is a fight you want, then let's do it. Don't hide behind what you did. Suffering in silence. It just doesn't make sense to me. No communication, because they're trying to get you to take the bait, to get upset and to get angry and to curse them out and to yell at them and to rah, rah, rah. And you're not going to do any of that. Use your real profile with your real name and your real picture. Say what you need to say to incriminate yourself so we can screenshot how you feel truly about us, so we can take what we need to take towards the authorities. Say with your chest, toxic mother or toxic father. Stop hiding behind people. Stop hiding behind God. Stop hiding behind the Bible. Stop hiding behind church. Stop hiding behind these toxic siblings. Stop hiding behind these toxic frenemies. Stop hiding, period. Stop hiding. Toxic mommy or toxic daddy. Stop hiding. If you can do this, then you should be able to face the music. Stop hiding. I don't want to hear nothing from no fake page. Say it with your chest, truthfully. Let us see the coward that you truly are in sight, not behind our backs. Those are the keyboard cunters. I like to call them that. They're whisking away, cunting away behind the keyboard. A faceless profile. They're keyboard cunters is what they are. We have unemployed. I'm not talking to you, samurai. And y'all got to remember, listen to what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm going to say things that's not going to resonate with you guys, but just hear me out when I say this. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't, you know what I mean? You don't really have to speak too much on it, because to me, the way my mind thinks, it's like you're incriminating yourself by saying something that don't resonate. If that makes sense. It don't resonate. Oh, okay, cool. That ain't for me. I ain't talking about you. I understand why you may not use your name and stuff like that. I'm specifically speaking about, and I'm calling out the toxic mothers and toxic fathers that like to hide behind Bibles and Christ and church and Sister Betty and Sister Anthony or Brother Anthony or Brother Tony. That's who I'm speaking about. Those derelicts. That's who I'm speaking about. If you have to hide your name and stuff and your address, I understand. I completely understand. But in this time right now, I'm calling out the toxic mothers and the toxic fathers that are doing the foolishness. That's who I'm talking about. So I get you. I do. That want to be sneaky. There's no reason to be sneaky. If you're doing it, you can't commit a crime and then hide because you're scared. That means you were truly intentional, or you have some form of feelings or emotions that states that you were aware as to what you were doing. When I say you, meaning the toxic mother or the toxic father. That's who I'm speaking about here. Why be sneaky? Why are they hiding behind family? So, okay, since they want to move like a pack of rats, they want to continue to be keyboard cunters, then just expose them. It is what it is. And they're going to fall out like the filth that they are. Now they're up in neck with legal matters, and you better sue them. Yeah, I said it, and I mean that. You better sue them. Sue them for every follicle, every piece of follicle that they have on their front. Pluck it out and sue them. Sue the pants off them. Sue the shirt off them. Sue the bra off them. Sue the underwear off them. Shoot, even take their teeth. Take everything that they so love and they so desire to have. Take everything, every intricate parts of them, take them to courts and clean them. Clean them for the next generation. Clean them, take them to the cleaners. Because they're not getting away with this foolishness at all. They're not. Some of y'all were prescribed medication that made you sick. Imagine giving medication to a wealthy or healthy child. Wealth is health, or health is wealth. Imagine you getting medication for something that you don't even need for, and it's actually making you sick. It's actually counterproductive towards your well-being. It's time for them to be evicted. Yes, it's time. Get the tea. Oh man. Yeah, hiding something. They were hiding your medical records. Yes, they were. And when you spoke, oh no, they're insane. They don't, we never did not tell you. No, 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 no. The collective, and you the only one speaking now, and everybody else coming together, binding like dodo birds, and dodo birds is all the same. I didn't do that. No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't. Yeah, that's how they sound. They sound like a freaking fools. That's how they sound, pretending that everything is a-okay. And nothing is a-okay behind the scenes, because yet again, they're trying to stop you from speaking out. Why? If you didn't do it like you said that you didn't do, then why are you trying to tamper with the collective social media channels then? If you didn't do what you said you did or didn't do, karmic mother or karmic daddy. Huh? I can't hear you. Crickets, of course. So again, what's the real reason to be afraid of them? Imprisonment. That they were working hard for you to be placed in. Imagine that. They want you to be in jail for what they done to you. They want you to be in jail for what they done to you. Ain't that something? Anybody that has 50, 11, 30, 40, 50, 60 fake pages just to come and troll you, they have a mental instability. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's the multiple personalities that are speaking. And because you ain't giving them the time of day, they're self-destructing with the multiple personalities that you're not even playing with, or you're not even giving them attention to or with. So it's making them sick, bad health within their mind, because it's like, wait, what's going on? Oh my God, 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 I'm malfunctioning. Yeah, you need to malfunction in front of everyone to see. Community. Absolutely. They're trying to egg you on into an argument or to a fight. Again, if you didn't do it, karmic mommy or karmic daddy, you keep saying that you're innocent, right? Karmic mommy or karmic daddy, you keep saying you're innocent, but yet you hiding behind a keyboard. Mr. and Mrs. Keyboard Cunters, the Cunters. Mr. and Mrs. Cunter. Community, family room. Community is aware of the family secrets. Community is aware of the family room, the family dynamic, and the community knows that they're the one that's suffering from the real mental illness, not you. Because you come off as the official person that is now changing the narrative as to how it should have been changed a very long time ago. And despite you going through all that you went through, you still left them alone. You still moved forward and left them alone. And what they did? They followed you. They followed you. You moved, you skipped town, country, state, whatever, however, they still followed you to abuse you. And they calling y'all mental? They calling y'all unwell? Make this make sense. Make this make sense. They made it their mission, their job, to keep you in a state of stagnancy, or to make you afraid them. Child, please. All because of your gifts. Your gifts were unreal to them. They think your gifts came from a form of mental illness. It didn't. It did not. It came from God, source. The same God or source that they refuse to believe in, or they think that they believe in. They don't believe in the same energy that you do. Your gifts come from source. So you're going to destroy source? Well, let me see. I want to see. I want to see you destroy source, please. Let's sit back and watch them destroy source. Now people are realizing that they're false, whatever, prophet, false, whatever, child, false something, reflecting, and they're being forced to reflect because you're not backing down. You're pushing back as you should. And a pushback don't always mean a physical fight. There are many ways to push back, okay? It doesn't always mean a physical fight. So you are getting them or putting them in a position where they have to reflect and they are afraid to reflect. Well, let's destroy what they got going on. No. Moving forward, this day, what's today's date? July 16, 2025. For either you are new here or you've been rocking me for a long time. This day forward, don't allow any MFer to step on your feet. Don't allow any mother effer try to have any type of control over you. Nobody. I don't care if it's a mother. I don't care if it's a father. I don't give a damn if it's a brother or sister. Shit, granny, grandpa, I don't care who it is. Don't allow anyone to control your movements or your way of life. Nobody. Nobody. Bad karma. Bad karma. They wanted to force their bad karma on you. Well, how can they force their bad karma on you? By getting you to argue and fight with them. Getting you to be in the middle of things or intermingle or intertwine yourself in this bad karma. They want to fight. Oh, you and it's your fault. No, it's not your fault. So you don't have to argue and fight with nobody. You unfazed, or you soon to be unfazed, as you should be. Imagine you the one that's abused. You the one that was like the test dummy to this cesspit of Hawkeye spit. This group is a cesspit of filth, is what this group is. Yuck. And you finally get into a space, or not yet, if you have not yet, you will, but you're in a space where you now finally are able to become unfazed, and yet they want to keep messing with you and trying to pull out do whatever they can towards you. Child, please. Thank you for the rose and the heart. Thank you. Kendra, thank you, boo. Let me give you some flowers. You out here giving me 100 roses. Let me give you some flowers, girl. Thank you, boo. Thank you, Kendra. Love, love, love. Thank y'all. Thank you. You are loved. Thank you, boo. Thank you so much. It's only right I give it right back to you, okay? Thank you. You may have been removed from a home, or a caseworker may have came to your home because you caught a case. You may have, I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but I'm just going to tell like it is. There was some form of an STD that you may have had when you were young, when this mother figure or father figure pushed themselves onto you, and they don't want no one to know about that. Or it could be a sibling too. A sibling may have gave you an STD. Like, this family is just, I don't know what to call them. I don't know what to call these people. We have ego here. They're in their ego, more so their super ego here. Nobody likes to be around this family. And this is why the family will always try to keep up. See, ignoring is here. They will always do everything possible to keep their family name standing. And nobody wanted to be around them. You didn't have friends to play with and stuff because of the things that they were doing to other people that will come around you. They want to sabotage everything so they can continue this abuse, even as you are in your waking state now, whatever age that you're currently in. They still want to keep abusing you. No. Light bulb moment. The light bulb moment is that you're not backing down. That's the light bulb moment. And they're hitting a brick wall because you ain't moving. You ain't saying nothing. You ignoring them. You're silent, but you're not being moved. You move when you feel it's right to move. You move on your own terms, your own time. You do what you feel is right for you. Okay? What is that? Spiritually woke. That came out again. Spiritually awakened. Oh yeah, they always love. Samurai says on Instagram, funny how they quote scripture, but they're the ones doing the effery. Absolutely, because they feel the words that they speak are powerful. That's not true. Just because somebody says something doesn't equate to it being powerful. That makes sense. Anybody can say anything, and it just don't make sense. Where's the power behind this words? You can't threaten me with something that you don't abide by. That there's no power in that. You telling me God gonna get me, but you ain't following God's laws? So why should I be afraid of this so-called God that you keep saying is going to get me? That doesn't make sense to me. If you ain't following it, then why should I follow it? Because it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. Detective, and that's what you found out. Hey, nurse Maruti, hey boo, that's what you found out. It's not real. Baby, it's a paranoid, and as they should be. They should not have a good night's rest, or they don't have a good night's rest. They don't deserve to have a good night's rest. They don't deserve to eat a nice plate of food. They don't deserve to live the best life that they think that they're entitled to. You don't abuse a person for years. And when finally that person finally had enough of that abuse, or finally awakened that abuse is what that was, you don't, is not right or fair to think that you can follow them once they left the whole situation for you to try to put them back into the situation. This is how some people snap. This is how some people snap for real. That keep bothering and bothering and bothering you and bothering you until they get you to a point where you crack. And the moment that you crack, or if you did crack, see, I told you, see, I told you, but they don't talk about the things that they have done towards you behind closed doors. They don't talk about how they put your hand on the Bible and they hit your hand with the Bible. You better listen, and you better say this verse, and you better this, and you better recite. That's religious abuse. Let's talk about it. It is religious abuse. It's what it is. Forcing you to sit in church, to abide by certain laws and certain whatever, certain protocols and things of that nature, that you're like, something not right here, something off, something, oh, you hush, you don't speak about that in the house of the Lord, you don't, but yet they're sitting in the house of the Lord and they freaking lying. They're sitting in the house of the Lord and they sleeping with the next person over. They're sitting in the house of the Lord and they having an affair with the pastor. They're sitting in the house of the Lord and they doing money laundering, unaliving people, all kind of wickedness and foolishness. But they telling you to stay quiet and hush in a house of Lord. Make it make sense. Make this make sense. always remember, God would never get you for speaking truth. I want to make that very clear. God is of light, not dark, light source, divine source, not darkness. So God will never get you for speaking truth. Never. When you speak truth, aren't you rewarded for speaking truth? I'm sure you have many occurrences when you did the right thing or you were truthful of self that you were rewarded for such. Not so? So show me where it says in the book that I will be punished or trespassed for speaking truth. Make it make sense. They don't make sense. They're suffering from mental instabilities that don't make them make sense. They're crashing out because they don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why are you using the Bible to get people to stay quiet or hush up? For what reason? What God is going to hurt you for speaking truth? This is the perspective I want you to shift a bit. Make it make sense to you, not to them, because what they do doesn't make sense. Make it make sense to you and only you, not them. So we have 7 of Swords here. Okay. Well, thank you. 7 of Swords. Deceit, cheating, scamming, lying. Look, the Tower. So if they weren't lying, right? So they say. Why are they in the Tower moments? If they weren't lying, call them out. If they were following the God's commandments like they say they were, why are they going through hell right now? Why aren't they safe from God's wrath if they were telling the truth? Make it make sense. Break it down. Make it make sense. Why aren't they safe from God's wrath? If they were telling the truth, why are they trying to hush you up? If they were telling the truth, why are they using fake pages to come up against you? If they were telling the truth, why do they need a pack of rats or mouse or mice to come up against you if they were telling the truth? Make it make sense. And ask yourself, when you interact with others, does this make sense? Ask yourself that. You are entitled to question things. That's what you're here for. You're here to question and learn from the questions that you have. That's how you learn, babe. That's how you evolve. By asking questions. Sometimes the hard questions that a lot of people don't want to know or don't want answered. That's your right and your prerogative. And no God or the God that they pray to or connect to is going to get you for speaking truth. Because if that was the case, you would have been here already. You would have been here already if you weren't speaking truth. If you were doing malicious things towards them, you would have been here already. Well, why aren't you here? Because you weren't lying. You weren't lying. Look, justice came. Look, that Spirit. Come on. Y'all, excuse me. Let me get Spirit some flowers. Okay. I do that from time to time, you know. It says judgment and it says justice. What is justice? Isn't justice the truth? Or is justice lies? Pick sense out of nonsense. Pick sense out of nonsense. Is justice lies or is justice truth? You decide. Judgment. So if you're being judged on your lies, will you get justice? Ask yourself that question. Break it down. If you were telling lies, would you have received justice? Well, I didn't receive justice yet. Yes, you did. Stop saying that you did not. Justice is not one part of the whole thing. It's many different aspects of the whole thing. It's not one thing or one size fits all. That's not how justice works. Justice comes in clusters of things. It starts small. Okay, here's one part or portion of justice. You were aware, spiritual awakening. That is a form of justice. Okay, now that I know what they have done, I found out the truth about what they've done. Let me move. Okay, and you're being guided as you are moving. You're being guided as you are moving. That's justice as well too. Okay, now I'm able to move away. I got a new start, a new life now. Okay, let me keep following my spirit. Let me keep following my discernment. And look what happened. Now the world is in your hand because of the truth. Either you spoke the truth or your steps were the truth. However that resonates. If you weren't speaking the truth, you would be here. This is where they are currently, because they refuse to speak truth. They're in the energy of pre-transitions, and ailments and sickness. They are, not you. They strategically place you there so you can be like how they are, but that is not your portion. It's not. That's not the way you should be living your life. That is not what spirit or God or source planned for you. So the next time somebody talk about some God going to get you, how? In what way? They need to be able to answer based on what they stated towards you. Well, how is God going to get me? How? Somebody. Anybody. Somebody. Tell me how. Oh, okay. And that's what they weren't expecting, for you to stick up to them or stand up to them in regards to truth. You know you lying, right, karmic? I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm your mother. I'm your mom. I don't give a flying EFGHIJK. I don't care about that. I don't care if you're my father. I don't care if you're a pastor. I don't care about that. You cannot put yourself or try to position yourself, karmic mommy or karmic daddy, in a position where people are supposed to follow your lies. Because for me, Adana, I would not follow anybody's lies. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how it sounds. I would not follow anybody's lies. I won't. You got me chopped. Okay? You got me chopped, little dog. So we got 5 of Cups here. Wrong is wrong. 5 of Cups here. Now they're in regret. Oh well, because people know them of their scamming ways. Thank you, Michael. People are aware of their scamming ways, including you. 10 of Swords. Ask the harder questions. Ask. That's shadows. Oh no, I don't want to ask that question. Why not? Because did you ask the question? Did you go and do your research for yourself? Research is free. Google is free, literally. Perception is also free. You can have many different perceptions of one thing, and it's highly advised or suggested that you do. The more perspective that you have, the better off you will become, because now you have many variations of one thing. Okay, I don't like that path. Then don't go down there. But now you have other variations that is going to best whatever you decide to choose for self. And you're like, you know what? I like this variation the best out of all 5. Let me go down this path. And the moment that you go down this path, boo, the moment that you go down that path of the various perceptions that were given to you, I'll take you up on what you said. Neighbor Sue states on YouTube, no one will answer anything. Why do you expect that from them? Why do you expect a person that has been causing harm towards you or abusing you to answer anything in regards to what you want to know? This is where your research comes in. This is where your discernment comes in. This is where your thinking abilities and capabilities come into play. You ain't going to get the answers that you're looking for from them, but you already have partial or half of the answer. All you got to do is put your truth together and boom, now you got the whole puzzle, you got the whole story. So I say this respectfully. Why are you waiting for a response or answer from them when you know for a fact they're not going to give that to you? They're not. They want to keep you away from not receiving this. So if you are expecting, well, I want to answer and you better tell me, baby, you're going to keep on waiting. You're going to keep waiting, boo. This is where hermit mode comes in. Reflection time comes in. A reflection space comes in. We are in the pre-shadows of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde don't really truly begin until Friday, which I believe is the 19th. Yeah, Friday, the 19th. And I think it's up to August 11th. But after that, it's pre-shadows 2 weeks before and pre-shadows 2 weeks after. Mercury retrograde is a review space or review stage, a retrograde, going back and reviewing things that you've experienced. Did you learn the lesson from the experience? That's why Mercury retrograde is. Does that make sense? Mercury represents communication. It represents intellect, education, words. If that makes sense? So with that being said here, take this time, if you have not, take this time to sit in this retrograde and to either write it out, dream, meditate, whatever you do best for yourself, whatever you do. Break through the illusions by reviewing what you've experienced. Sit in your shadows. Sit in your shadows. If it makes you afraid, that's okay. Push through it. People create shadows for other people because they know that others or most won't sit in that shadows. Why? Because it hurt too much. It hurts too much. That's why they create shadows for you, because they don't want you to sit with your shadows. Well, if you sit with your shadows and you push through, you be like, dang, man, that thing hurt. Whew. Yep, I went through that. Yep, I experienced that. But it's going to place you here. I'm telling you. I'm living it. It's going to place you here, boo. It is. And I'm going to take you up on that. The Wolf of the Old Roads on YouTube states, my shadow is out in the open. Yes. So if your shadows are open and they're trying to come towards you with something that happened to you in the past, it's not going to affect you. They want your shadows to be affected, or they want you to be affected by your shadows so they can continue this abuse. But if you sit down and you heal it and you go through the process, and it's going to take some time, of course, it's not an overnight thing, you know, it's going to take time to get out that situation. But with consistency of your shadow work where you're healing, you're going to see a change. You're going to see a change. And I'm shameless plug. Get your book, Wisdom Beyond Wounds. That's why I created this book for y'all, for me included. I write in my book too. Don't think I don't do. Yes, I sit down and I write in my book as well too. Yes, I do. I do my exercises in my own book as well too. Wisdom Beyond Wounds was created for individuals like myself and you that went through extreme bouts of narcissism. Yes. Make sure you get your copy on Amazon, okay? You know. Okay. I had to put that in there, okay? Yeah, so once you left all that hoopla, foolishness behind, now you're in the Nine of Pentacles. Of the mind, the body, and the soul. Mind, body, and soul. And they can't take that from you unless you allow them to. And I really hope that you don't. You're so deserving of living a great life, however you see fit for yourself. You are divine collective. You are very deserving of whatever life that you want to live. Reach out to Amazon, Cara. Yeah, reach out to them and see what's going on, because that's, yeah, it usually take about 2-3 days, but definitely reach out and let me know what's up. I'm going to stop right here, but it says the star. You are the star. You are. Either you're an Aquarius or you're just a star in your own right. Don't allow anybody to dim your damn light. I say that with all the love in my big ass heart. Don't allow anyone to dim your light, to dim your star power, your star light. Nobody. No one. No one. That's all I got to say. I got a couple reads to do. I'll be back on later, maybe. We'll see. We got Leo here. Yes, I'm going to do the class. I'm going to do it. I just got a lot of things that's tied up right now. Okay. Gemini. We have Scorpio. We have Gemini. Cheers to you. You deserve it all. You do. Don't think less of yourself. You're on here watching me for a reason, because you want better for yourself. And you deserve everything that you worked hard for. You deserve to be successful. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to thrive. You deserve to do whatever it is you set your beautiful mind to. You deserve it all. Never forget that, ever. We have Taurus. Take it how it resonates. Thank you, Sagittarius. Oh, okay. Love to you guys. Go out there and be freaking great wherever you are in the world. Whatever you set your mind to, know that you can be successful, whatever it is. I am rooting for you. I want to see you do well. I want to hear about the great stories. Girl, guess what? What? I bought a house. Congratulations, girl. Guess what? What? Da-da-da. I'm waiting. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on y'all. Okay? So, until next time, love you guys. Love, love, love. Go out there, be freaking great. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. See y'all later. See y'all, YouTube. Mwah. Love, love, love y'all. Talk to y'all soon.